Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
Sucks to the last drop. Are you gonna blow your head off? Take good aim and don't forget to duck. A light sucks every Monday and all the way to Sunday, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't care how you're doing, what's up or how's it hanging. I'd like to buy this world one last drink. Life sucks all of the time. Stick it up your sunshine, and then you'll see the clouds every day. And then you'll see the clouds every day. And then you'll see the clouds every day.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to let you know before we start the show here that this episode has some salty language in it and may not be appropriate for, the little children's or such. So just wanted to throw a warning out there and enjoy the episode. Hey enthusiasts, welcome to a new Crazy Life. Wait a minute. No, this is a very special episode of the Crazy Life. Normally it's me, Henno, and Jen, or some mixture of the three. Or two or whatever, but they're both bums and decided they didn't want to be on the show. So instead I brought in Tony, my co-host from Salty Language.
I'm so sorry.
and his wife Jeannie, the first lady of Space Violence from Salty Language.
I am not part of Salty Language.
And professional podcast guest.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is true.
Henno or Jen will be mailing you your check. So
sweet.
Yeah.
I accept cookies.
You probably make better cookies.
Accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to find something else.
Les Henno's making some cookies with some of that Idaho green, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
No.
Potatoes?
You know, like spinach.
Oh. I thought you may not have like
spinach.
Oh my.
Let's put my job at line. Let's talk about that some more.
Yeah.
What, your job as professional podcast guest?
Or, as a drug counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Cookies aren't drugs.
It depends on who you ask, Tony.
Exactly.
That's true.
They can be.
Look at Cookie Monster, what the mess he's in.
Yes, exactly. So,
let's go to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting and people will tell you you're bringing their heroin in.
Yeah. See?
Fair enough.
Way to be insensitive, Tony. What a jerk.
What is wrong with
It's
you?
what I do.
Oh, man. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be, a slight difference in, the way the show's done because, who cares what these two did this week? And, no, I'm kidding.
I have my win for the week. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and do, that kind of thing. Jeannie, so you want to start off?
Well, I went back to belly dancing. It's been a year since I went to classes, and I have definitely been missing it, and I went back this week.
Excellent.
High Sorry about that, guys.
Nice.
I was about to say, like, don't hit my hand that hard.
Too late.
Sensitive mic.
Too late. The best part is that your hand's really close to the mic too. So
Like,
Well, you put it there.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it was probably terrible part.
That's
Terrible
what I was.
my part.
That's what I was getting at. You know, we're recording Salty Language last night, and he goes to do a yelling thing, and he pulls the Bill Burr and leans way back. But tonight he's going to do, a high five, and he's like, "I'm going to put my hand on the mic."
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's for you, Garrett.
Yeah,
Got to blow out his ears at least once.
Exactly.
it's true. It's true.
So yeah, that's my win, is that I went back to do something that I love, that I have a great time doing,
Awesome.
and makes me feel happy.
Good. Yeah. We're definitely all about that here.
Mm-hmm.
Tony,
Right.
what about you? What?
I actually have a win for the week that has something to do with the subject of the crazy life.
It better not be about your stupid Snapchat you sent out.
Damn it.
Agreed.
All right, well, I have another one.
All right.
No, I got back into journing, which is nice because
Finally
for a
pulled the
while,
dream
it was-
journal out, huh?
yes, I got the little like tiny lock on it. Actually, mine's voice activated. It's really cool.
Ooh, nice.
No, I got back into writing down some in a journal every night, just to go over the day, and I think it helps me organize my thoughts a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a jumble.
Sometimes you're a hot mess,
Sometimes I'm a hot mess.
Like,
and you communicate things you don't mean.
yes, like I think it's better when I write stuff down.
yeah, that makes
So
sense.
there you go.
Mhm.
Got back into the journaling,
Nice.
which oddly enough, it's been about a year since I did it.
Hey, so you journal when my ass is shaking?
Yes.
All right,
Mhm.
gotcha.
Makes sense. It makes
What
sense.
about
to me.
you, Brian?
Mine would be, mine's not quite here. Well, it kind of is. Last week I met someone off of Twitter, that wasn't like, that I didn't know from podcasting, and I've been talking with her for a while, but it was still the fact that I went through with meeting someone, that wasn't, so it was, my typical awkwardness, but then but it felt, after a few minutes, it felt like just hanging out with an old friend. So it was really awesome. And, there's a lot of people that say on Twitter and stuff, they're like, oh, it's just Twitter. It's not real. And it's like, yeah, actually it can be, like this. I've been talking, we've been in different rooms together and stuff, and we just have always gotten along, and now we've met, so it's like, and even like the podcast people we've met and we've talked about on this show and Salty Language and The Enthusiast and everything, we've made a lot of good friends and met some really awesome people because of the internet, whether it's Twitter or podcasting or whatever. So, that was really awesome.
That's a big win too, because a lot of times when you meet someone through podcasting that you talk to on Twitter, that you meet in person, that you met through podcasting, you're there with Tony. You're not usually there by yourself.
Which is very true.
You did this by yourself. You met her and spent time with her by yourself. That's big.
Yeah.
It's very huge.
Yeah, it is. And it, like I said, it's easy because she's, super easy to, there's no pretension, no anything like that. She's just one of the, and I love genuine people because there's just no stress. You know where you stand all the time with people like that. And, there's no need to analyze their thoughts,
Right.
I just had that conversation with my friend Brian with an I. I know, what a douche.
Boo.
I told him that I like the fact that he tells me the truth, and he put, you like the fact that I'm an asshole? And I went, no, I like the fact that I know that you're not going to feed me a line, and that you're going to be honest with me, and I'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yep. Because even if somebody just walked right up to you and was like, I don't like you, you'd be like, okay.
Well, at least I know that now.
Cool.
We'll stay away from each other and we'll be fine.
All right. Yeah, But, not just that, but then, Monday was that, and then Tuesday, I went out with you guys to dominate at pub trivia. So,
it's so awesome.
So,
Except you and I are like, I'm pretty sure that's not the correct answer, and nobody's listening to us. So we're just going to be over here and feel really awesome about ourselves later.
That's right.
Revolutionary War didn't happen in Vermont.
Yeah.
Or it didn't happen in Virginia.
But we, putting myself out there 2 days in a row is not easy, and I kind of, I even told you, cause you asked me about doing something Friday, and I was like, I'll bet most of the rest of the week I'm going to be like, nope. And
I'm good.
I pretty much was. I was actually glad we didn't record this show Wednesday because I kind of wasn't really feeling up to socializing, so yeah.
Well, and you knew that was going to happen beforehand, so it wasn't like you were like, oh, you guys, I just can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, but so that was, that was pretty awesome. So
I'm going to do my ear clap here.
Also known as jazz hands.
Yeah.
No, this is clapping in ASL.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Which is weird.
Yeah, it's clapping.
Oh, that's right. Well, jazz hands is lower anyway.
It's and it's usually with your fingers moving,
these
and
are
not your hands.
These are all great.
Like, don't shoot.
Yeah.
Don't shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good to talk about a visual cue on a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, it's a social language gag.
Sure is. Say gags aplenty over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, boy. So, I kind of figured that this week, since you guys have been, friends with me through pretty much all of my mental illness, like Tony definitely has. Jeannie's been through most of it because I've been, I can pretty much trace depression back to where I was about 12. So that's not
coming to your life until you were like 16.
Yeah. So it, there's a short gap in there, but it's, that's still a lot of the time, even if you remove the 4 years from then till now,
right.
It's most of it. And, so I thought we'd talk about, kind of what it's like to be a friend of someone. Cause I know you guys are both friends, not just with me, but with other people who have issues with anxiety or depression, and whether or not you have your own. We've talked a little off and on other stuff about, so I don't even really know where to start. Real quick, first of all, if any of you want to really hear Tony and I talk about this, we get really in depth on it. And what was it, 47 of Salty Language, I think?
You're asking Tony to remember.
I always have a browser.
Yeah, the name of the episode is Just Keep Calling because Jeannie told Tony to keep calling me.
Yeah.
Even though my anxiety and depression were basically causing me to close everybody out of my life. So, yeah.
Oh, can't type.
You can't. I just want to slap your hands away.
Episode 47. You are correct.
Oh, that's an old picture.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I took that picture.
Yes, you did.
Holy crap.
So, yeah, Tony's just ham-fisting the keyboard there, but that's all right.
Yeah. He's like, I know numbers and letters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't really know where to start, like whether, we just want to talk about what's the hardest part of it, or, where do you want to start with it?
The hardest part of being friends with someone with depression is not being able to help them and knowing that you can't.
Right.
That is honestly the hardest thing. So you just want to grab, like, not so much anymore, but in high school especially, I would just try to make you go out.
Yeah.
Which is the worst thing in the world to do for you.
Yeah.
It's like putting up a wall. You're like, well, first of all, I already said no, and now you're pushing me, so fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, I dropped it. I'm sorry. I even said, remember, it's a family-oriented show. Don't use curse words.
I don't have a salty language.
Put the money in the swear jar.
Yeah.
All right.
But out of the two of us, Tony, I am the one with the potty mouth. I was the one who I said I was saying it for me. So. The hardest thing, back to the subject, is knowing that the help that you can provide is really just like support.
Yeah. I'm here.
I can't come in
Yeah.
and pull your depression out. I can't come in and make your anxiety go away.
Yeah.
And I just have to be patient. And patience is not a virtue for most people.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the hardest thing for me. I think Tony is getting better, and I'm going to speak for you.
That's
because
fine.
Stop looking at the cat.
It's not the cat, it's the dog. And I just,
Okay.
It sounded like there was a ghost in the house. And look, and there's like,
Tony,
she's sitting there.
Tell your dog her segment is next, but not right now. She has to sit out there.
Yeah. I would say the one thing you just don't understand. Like, you don't understand depression at all. Like you don't get.
No, sometimes I don't.
Yeah,
right?
you don't get it.
Mm.
So,
And then you gotta spell it out and be like,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Right. Well, and it's funny because that's the exact reason why, I had wanted to do this kind of podcast, because there's so many people who don't understand because they don't suffer from it. Or even if there's some people that even if they're told, they still don't understand, because when they have something similar to those feelings, they can just push through it, and that obviously becomes difficult for, the people who have it.
Yeah.
So
the people who have to live with it daily.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, I have decided with my career choices to deal with depression and anxiety every day. So,
Right. Which is something I want to talk about too a little bit at some point here, because, obviously it's relevant. And, yeah, it's been really odd because, a lot of people that I've talked with don't have the support system that I do. And I fully understand. I have a really good support system, and I'm very fortunate that, I've qualified for things that help me get therapy and medicine and all that along with the support system, as part of the overall package. So it's, when I hear other people, talking about their stuff, and it's like, I don't know. Do you, again, we're not naming names or anything, of course, but do you know anybody who's untreated that's, is that harder to deal with?
Oh, well, it depends on what their symptoms are. I mean, look at you, Brian, when you were not looking at medication, when you were not looking at therapy, when you were not doing anything but dealing with it yourself, and where you are now. Like, if you go back 10 years, your life was totally different. Yeah. Like, in your untreated state of like, I can handle this myself, you were gone from the world. It was very rare that we saw you. So when you're dealing with depression, of course that's going to show up. When you're dealing with other mental illnesses, like, Jen with bipolar, I mean, when she was manic, she's fun to be around. So it's not, true. I mean, for her support system or the people who are around her, they're not even going to notice it until she hits a down phase. I work in community mental health, and I have, some schizophrenic who hear voices every day, and that when they're not on medication, they're harder to deal with because they don't know if you're speaking or if their head is speaking.
I never thought about that. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on what your symptoms are and how you are coping with them. And there are schizophrenics who are not on medication and cope with things just fine, and then has something happen and the floor falls out from underneath them.
Right.
So it just depends on, and I love the fact that you say your tool belt. We use that all the time. Yeah. It's tools in your tool belt. You need coping skills, and medication is not the only answer. And sometimes it's not the answer that will work for you. It's learning what works for you.
Yeah. That's why I had posted on Facebook last week, I think it was, about how it was something on The Mighty that was about, what was it? It was about medicines, about how they're not, like antidepressants are not happy pills. And it was a really well written thing that, this girl like started antidepressants and was kind of like, I don't really feel better.
Yeah.
And from the ones I've been on, I don't really feel that much better. What I feel is that there's a floor. I don't feel like happy, or I don't have like a ton of energy. Well, I did on the one because I had, a side effect of starting it was manic episodes, but I talked about that on here.
Yay!
Yeah. So, I mean, that was great. That's the most energy I've had in years. I almost part of me was like, man, I kind of wish I could keep this, but at the same time,
not a good thing.
No, redlining's never good.
Yeah. Just take up speed.
Right. Yeah, that's no good.
You get really thin and never sleep, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
Teeth, who needs those?
Yeah, right. I can buy teeth.
Just saves you a dentist bill.
Yeah. So that's I thought that was a great article, because there are a lot of people that think the first thing is they're like, well, why don't you get on the medicine? It's like, the medicine's just the begin. The medicine sets the floor. Everything else is built on that floor, and
it's very upsetting dealing with people who think medication is going to make somebody better.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't. And you can't force anyone to take medication. It's self-determination. The person has to decide they want to take medication, or they have to decide that the side effects that happen with the medication are worth staying on the medication.
Which is
because sometimes, the side effects are worse.
Yeah.
And having someone tell you, well, too damn bad, you have to take this medication, you almost ostracize them, and they're not going to ever try anything else.
Yeah.
I
was afraid of that when on one of the antidepressants I was on a little bit, was I actually thought that if I went to the doctor and said I don't like this medicine, basically, that I would get lectured about how I need to be on medicine, which is ridiculous. It's a totally ridiculous thought. But I'm sure it's a common thought also.
Oh yeah.
I bet.
But I went into my doctor and she could not have been more like, well, then this isn't the right one. Let's,
Well, then fine, garbage.
Yeah. Get out.
And some of them do take a while to build up in your system. So
Definitely.
if you don't like what it is, sometimes they'll say, well, you need to take this for at least 6 months to see if it affects you. It's not having negative side effects. You're just not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Medication can help 100%, but it's a crapshoot, unfortunately, until you find the right one. And saying, well, just take your medication is not the answer.
Yeah.
And,
that's another reason why it makes me very mad when I hear someone say the words, "What are you, off your meds?" Because it really bugs me, because if I don't take my antidepressant, it's going to be a few days before you're going to know I didn't take my antidepressant, first of all. And second of all, even with my antidepressant, my depression can still be really awful. And that doesn't mean I'm on the wrong dose. It could just mean that I'm having, it's like, I have a headache, so I take some Excedrin, but the headache is still there. It's like, well, you don't just keep taking Excedrin until the headache's gone. At some point you have to,
take some water.
Yeah, maybe try some other things, or maybe there's a bigger problem here,
Just ignore that. Just ignore that. That's
not a tumor.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of your original question on if you're not on medication, if it's bad, or if you're not in some sort of treatment, and it makes me think of my dad, because my dad is diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and he ignored it for years. He was diagnosed with it and ignored it for years until he had a psychotic break and ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. He still doesn't take medication. He still doesn't use any tools, and he does what he needs to do. And every once in a while, Tony's like, calm down.
Well, I've mentioned on here before. Yeah, I've mentioned on here before that, sometimes, because there are a lot of people, like you said, there are a lot of people who just don't want to take these medicines because of the side effects, which is totally understandable, because they are significant side effects sometimes. And, but that's why I encourage people to, it's like, well, at least, go get the estimate. Like I said, like you would for a car, go find out, get diagnosed so you know what you're dealing with. And then if you want to find, ways to deal with it, your doctors even will give you other ways of dealing with things than just medicine.
If you go see a good psychiatrist, they are going to talk to you about, everything you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Before you take medication. They're going to offer you medication, and then they're going to tell you, you don't have to take this, and I can't force you to take it. And you should go to therapy, and you should do this, and you should do this and this. And here is a list of things that I suggest you should do.
Yeah.
Now you tell me what you're going to do.
Right. And you just tear the paper up and no.
I've had people do that.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm going to do none of this.
Yep.
Okay. Why did you waste our time? I mean, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because from going to enough doctors over this now, you can tell when the doctors kind of expect it from people.
Oh yeah.
When I went to the ones that worked with the state for Social Security, I found that they are more likely to have that attitude of, well, I don't think you're going to do anything with this, but here's the paperwork, basically. You can just tell that they're kind of like, meh. Yeah,
just defeated.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, so
it's a very, very hard job, and the turnover. Like, I'm in the bottom rung. So when you look at community mental health, the people with the highest education sees the client the least amount of time.
Right.
You have a 15-minute, a 20-minute meeting with your prescriber.
Yep.
Then you also have a therapist, which you'll see no more than once a week. It's more like twice a month, or once a month, depending on your need.
Right.
And then you will have me, who's the person who has to see you weekly. I have the lowest education.
Right.
So, if you get someone who is good at their job and you have 70 clients that you're supposed to see weekly, I mean, you have those clients that you're only talking to 15 minutes, and you have the clients who you have, 4-hour meetings with, that you could tell the prescriber, this is what I know about this client.
Yeah.
The person I see for 15 minutes who tells me they're okay every single time I call them, and every time I see them face to face, I can't tell them anything about this person besides they answer the phone.
Right, yeah. Which, I mean, is a significant step for some people. Because there are a lot of people who don't want, like, I don't like answering the phone.
Hell, I don't like answering the phone.
Yeah, I know, all right? I think that's it. Like, when I look at that, I think that part of me is on the normal plane. Like, cause,
that is totally normal.
Yeah, I think I've just gotten so used to texting and stuff that I'm just like, just text me, and then I can respond at my leisure, Yeah.
Right.
And I do stand by the fact that normal is the setting on the dryer. Your normal is different than my normal, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely.
But, no, I will constantly tell Tony to call people that have to do with both of us. Like, I'm not calling them.
Well, I've said on here,
Very true.
I've said on here, how there's many times I wouldn't order from a pizza place because they didn't have online ordering, it's even to that level. And everybody who listens or knows me knows pizza is my true love. Like, anything else falls second, but pizza's like number one for me, except maybe certain beers. But,
but do you really want to eat pizza from like a Stone Age pizza place that doesn't even have an internet ordering system?
It depends.
There was a long time there was the best pizza places did not have online ordering.
Like some little mom and pop thing.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So it's, but the tools.
That's when I come over and go, Brian, let's go get some beers.
Yeah. And delicious pizza.
It does happen every time we go out. They give us, you get pizza and I get like hummus.
Yeah. It's so true.
And then the guy's like, here's your bill.
What?
I remember people that I hung out with a long time ago. Whenever we went out, I'd get pizza, and they'd be like, "Do you eat anything else?" I'm like, no, pretty much not. I just eat pizza.
You're like, why would I eat anything else? Everything you need is on a pizza.
Right?
Well,
duh.
This time I got the deluxe.
Yeah.
So
pay attention, would you? Yeah, it's. I tell you.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, that's, I forgot where I was going to ask next.
That's because we started talking about pizza.
Yeah, I know. I get derailed real easy when I start talking about pizza,
Right? Pizza Cast. Coming soon.
Yes!
Salty language.
Yes!
Well, I answered for you, Tony. Is there anything you want to add about what is difficult being a friend of somebody who is...
No, I think I'm alright. It's just, unfortunately, I let the dog out and in, so I missed some of the conversation.
Oh, yeah, there was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that.
I know. I don't like breaking the walls.
Yeah. Way to ruin the whole show, Tony.
It's what I do, Brian.
Ruiner.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, and I do know that there are several of our friends that I have to remind you. You just call them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is, I mean, that's more on me though.
Yeah.
Because I reach a point, I'm just like, fuck it. Or,
God damn it.
This one's just all blown, isn't it?
Yeah, you hit the point where you're like, well, they never call me. Why do I care? And I'm always like, do you enjoy spending time with them?
And then I gotta be like, yeah.
Then you have to make the effort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, I know how difficult that is. Cause, we all have friends that are that way, whether it's a mental illness or it's just, they just
suck.
They just don't call. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My life is too important to be, yeah.
Yeah. It's very frustrating for sure.
Yeah.
Like, cause you never want to feel in a friendship like you're the one who always has to initiate, but at the same time,
You're talking about every one of my friendships, Brian.
I know.
Yeah,
God damn it.
So I think that's just more, well, maybe it's not just on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cause I don't know. I forget what I was going to say now. I got all distracted.
Fair enough. Well,
you were talking about pizza?
Right.
Ooh, pizza. Yeah. Picture it. Sicily, 1940. I kind of feel like, Henno is always bringing up on here about how, even if realistically another person is mostly at fault at something, there's always two parts in that, that thing.
Right.
So there's always something that the other person could do to make things better. Like a good example is this. Jeannie will text me and I try to text her back as soon as I can. Like usually as soon as I see the text, I respond. And it's not just you. Like I do that with most people because it's frustrating to sit there for hours and hours. Like, I'm sleeping if you text me within certain times generally.
Yeah.
But,
I never expect you to text me right back.
Yeah.
And when you do, I get super happy.
But see, I also know that if I were to wait a full day before texting you back, that it would bother you. It bothers a lot of people that it's like, really, you couldn't even, especially if, you see the person's like posting 40 things on Twitter or,
Right.
It's like, really, you couldn't text me back though, jerk? No.
With you, Brian, I don't think it would bother me. Because I know you're going to get back to me eventually. Now, if you never got back to me,
yeah, fair enough.
That would take me off.
That is true. But that's what I do on my end of it to try to, make sure that the lines of communication are staying open on both ends. Not that it's just you texting me. I wait like 2 weeks and then I'm like, hey, sup?
What you want?
Yeah.
Like, what? Whose number is this?
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord. That better be in the next text you send me. I'm sorry I lost my phone. Whose number is this?
Stolen phone. Stolen phone. Who dis? Yeah.
Who was it that, Tony's stepfather's brother, so Uncle Jack, has me under Tony. It's under Tony's phone number as second Tony. And I went, what the hell? My name is Jeannie and I do not go under Tony. And he goes, oh no, I never put a wife under a contact unless the husband okays it. And I'm like, what? Like we're family. We're technically family.
Right.
What are you worried about? Tony is going to be pissed that you have my number?
How dare you?
For the happy birthday text you get every year, and that is it.
Yeah. I can see Tony getting pretty mad about that.
Oh, God, I'm all bent out of shape thinking about it.
Yeah.
Ire and rage.
Yeah, I can tell.
Right. If anything, it should be ire and rage for the fact that is a stupid move. I caught myself.
Yeah.
No,
Did you though? Did you?
Really didn't.
No.
I mean, it was PG-13, and then I dropped that. Became R.
Yeah.
So what's stopping us now?
I was like, the censors only allow us one per episode, and you guys already blew it out of the water. So what can you do?
You just have to go in and put like a meow there or something. So it's
meow.
That curse word's not there. It's bells growling.
I just need like a sound drop of like me going no or something like that. Or naughty. Need one of Tony. Need one of Tony going naughty or something like that.
Nerdy.
Yep.
It's from like Jurassic Park.
Yep. Oh. Newman. Man. Oh shoot! I forgot. Dang it! I'm really bad at this. The last 2 times I've had a thought in my head, I've lost both of them.
Right, pizza.
Yeah. He went to his happy place.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
Who said pizza?
I will say one of my favorite things to talk to clients about coping skills wise is journaling and music.
Nice. And I listen to music when I journal. Double whammy.
Oh, wow.
I knew I was a black belt.
One of my favorite things to do is ask people to put together happy songs. And like usually in the first 5-6 months that I'm working with them, I need 6 songs that make you happy. And I don't care what they are. And they're not always happy songs.
Right.
Some of them are dark, but they make them happy. And they can explain it to me and verbalize why these songs make them happy.
Well, it makes sense. And like I've told on here that I read a thing on, I forgot where it was at, but talking about how like to improve your mood, just listen to music you like. It doesn't have to be upbeat music. It just has to be music you like, and it will improve your mood. Right.
I'm like, if you listen to upbeat music, Brian, like, let's put on some pop music, I think you might pull your beard hair out. Because that stuff is not your music.
No.
Yeah.
Tony, on the other hand, when he's journaling.
Right, when I'm journaling.
All about Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
Goddamn right. So inspirational.
She came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, and I don't know any other song.
We're so good at this pop music stuff. I'm just picturing it's the old Dr. Evil. I'm hip. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, I don't know if this has been very helpful.
I'm a big fan of the music and journaling thing too. I don't journal like I used to. I used to do it a lot, and I got away from doing it. And that's what my blog was supposed to be, except that I haven't really stayed on top of that. But
when's the last century?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
No.
Bad Genie, bad.
Now we're all depressed.
I'm sorry, my head works in lyrics, and I don't know the songs, which is really bad.
That is really odd, yeah. Because Tony and I do it a lot too. You know,
it's true.
Yeah. But music is always one of those that, like, I've had plenty of talks with Henno about this, how I can always tell, like, when I need to get music back into my life. Like, when I need more of it. Like, I was like, I'm not listening to enough, you know, because there's just something I can, you know, I'll start listening to it and I'll be like, why am I not doing this more? So.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's that whole podcast bug that we have too.
It is. Yeah.
Because it's, you know, you want to keep up with your friends and your... Yes, dear.
I was waiting for you to be done.
Your friends and the people you like to listen to. And then you just realize, like, oh, you don't have time to do music and podcasts half the time.
Yep.
When we're with the kids in the car, we don't play podcasts because a lot of the things we listen to are not appropriate. A lot of things I listen to are not appropriate for the kids.
Tawdry, yeah.
I don't understand that reference.
It's the censor reference.
Oh,
it's a callback.
Okay, well, I failed. So Tony and I will argue over music or silence.
Right.
Because I will just turn the radio off and it will drive Tony.
I want to jerk the wheel into a bridge apartment.
Majorly upsets him that I just want silence.
Right.
He's like, we have to have music on. We have to have some. Why don't we have music on? Can we put anything? I'll listen to NPR. Put the damn radio on.
But it's funny because if we're listening to music, I'm fine and I can just talk and all that. If we're listening to podcasts, I shut up because I'm listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So there's like zero conversation happening.
It's true. Yeah. It's the truth. That's, you know, it's why I do most of my podcast listening while I'm playing like video games or something. And, it's so weird how many times, like I've said on here too, it's like I'll just be sitting here like working on the podcast episode or, doing the, you know, posting stuff on Facebook for the podcast or whatever. And then I'll be like half an hour, 45 minutes into doing that. And I'll be like, why don't I have Spotify up? You know, or why am I not listening to music while I'm doing this? You know, there's absolutely no reason I can't be, you know? So, yeah, you know, and I've got to where I start, you know, kind of shoehorning it in at different spots, you know, like I'll play it sometimes, you know, I'll play something on my phone while I'm in the shower or whatever. And, you know, or when I'm cutting my hair or trimming my beard or whatever, just even if it's 3 or 4 songs, you know.
You have this image in my head now, Brian, of you showering with your phone.
No, my phone's outside. No, my phone's
out on Snapchat, kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I know you have a life-proof case. This is possible.
Well, it's not anymore because it's starting to come apart. So I don't feel that it is structural integrity has been compromised at this point. So
you don't want to shower and worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
accurate.
And I would. So yeah, that's no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah. But
I'm just like, I'm gonna forever thinking of you naked in the shower with your phone, like,
well, not naked. I still have my denim shorts on.
Oh, you're never nude.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Just in the shower with I'm in the shower with a bar of soap, just sobbing.
Nice.
Listening to happy music.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, that took a weird turn.
Yep.
Well,
that'll happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
happen.
Fantastic.
Can we just call this the salty life?
I probably should now.
Oh my goodness.
So much language. Oh man.
Huh. Yeah, what else?
I don't know, Brian.
What?
Pizza?
No pizza. What do you, I don't know, I'm trying to think here. What do you think has taken you, well, Jeannie already answered this, I guess. So like with, I was going to say, what do you think kind of took you the longest to realize, as a friend of somebody with mental illness, like something you didn't know ahead of time that you learned through the process? Mm-hmm. Or Jeannie, if you want to answer it again with something different, that's fine too.
Something totally different? No, it's going to be the same answer.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
What took me the longest is probably just realizing that it's not something you just go, like, just go fix it.
Yeah,
right.
It's
just not that easy.
Yeah.
You're like
if it's broke, you go fix it.
Right. Well, that's not entirely wrong. Once you get to the point that you want to fix it, you go, talk to your doctor
start to put that move play and all that.
Right. But
I'm sorry, Brian. There's still such a stigma with mental illness though, that, it's just a person isn't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time to realize you can try and try and try and try. You're never going to fix this.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to address it and find ways to live with it. This is your normal. And how are you going to function with this as who and what you are?
Yeah.
Right.
Because, in every aspect of our lives, we are told this is what you strive for. So you strive for a man and a woman in a house with the picket fence and children and a successful job, and you're fulfilled with whatever your hobby is, and you have time to do all of this, and your house is clean, and there's no problems. And this does not exist. You have to learn and communicate and decide what is your...
What's your jam?
Yeah, what's your jam? What do you want your life to taste like?
Or listen like jamming.
That is a great face, Brian.
Yeah. That's
you just got jammed.
That's the question to ask everybody is, what do you want your life to taste like? There's a cue of the W, Tony.
Yeah, really.
Well, it is. Like, what flavors do you want in your life? Do you want to have a 6-figure salary where you have no free time? Do you want to live in a house? Do you want to live in an apartment? Do you want to live in a city or a country or in the country, not a country?
I was going to say, where else are they going to live? Like the ocean? You could. I'm just,
They're working on that. They've got floating land modules that just kind of go.
You say what you want. I'm going to go live on Mars.
So it is. What do you want your life to taste like? There's things in my life that I have decided to do with my life that people think are weird and abnormal. And you know what? I couldn't see my life any other way than what it is.
Wow.
Because that's what is mine.
You were just describing being married to Tony, weren't you?
Probably.
I'm not saying yay or nay.
I think like as in our relationship, at least, the longer we've gone on, the more we realize it's like, we don't really want a giant house and a yacht and riches. We just want to have a nice, simple life.
Right. A wizard tower. Yeah.
Well, that's different. We're
talking
wizard tower.
Can it be out of Legos? Because we could totally bust that out right now.
No, it's got to be a legit wizard tower.
Oh, okay. How about waffles?
Well, I think we discussed that on one of the shows. Like the wizard tower, and then there's like a waffle and coffee place like nearby or something. So.
Okay. yeah, we have decided, we would like to work less and have less and be happy with that.
Because if you have less, you're paying out less. Basically. Therefore, you can have more money.
That's probably true. Unless the like 4 things you own are like, a $6.5 million house,
Like, well, I got my camper van and my Maserati.
I was like,
we are
never going to have a camper van.
Right.
Never, ever. We're never going to have a van that has a bed in it.
Well, there goes my kidnapper van.
Exactly. That's why we will never have a van with a bed in it.
I guess you're going to have to get a mural painted on your Jeep, Tony.
Start planning on a wizard on one side and a wolf on the other.
Yep.
Sick.
No, a wolf on the wheel cover for the back.
Oh, I don't have a whheel cover.
Oh, well, you're going to have to get one. Put it on top.
Okay.
On the top.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
On your bikini top.
Yeah.
That too.
Bikini top.
Wait a minute.
Because my Jeep's sexy.
That's what it's called. It's a bikini top on his Jeep.
Well, it's true. Tony's Jeep does pretty much go nude through the summer, so.
It's true.
Yeah. I get into the Jeep with no doors, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan either, but what are you gonna do?
I'll just pick you up. We'll be fine.
What's nice is that if you have to get out, the door's not locked.
That's true. My favorite is when people get out and I go, make sure that door's locked, and they turn around. and then they usually shoot me death stare.
Yeah, well,
really, Dick?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Classic.
So, good times.
So what you learn, being friends with someone who is got some sort of mental illness, is that you just roll with their punches.
That's accurate.
That makes sense. Yeah.
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 You just always have a hand out, and you become like Matrix style.
You gotta be like a leaf in the river. Go with the flow.
Wow.
We're all water,
Whoa,
brother.
bro. You just blew my mind.
Oh my goodness.
That's true. It is all about flexibility and just being there.
Right.
Because like we stated earlier, like me, and I know this is a fault of mine, as I've recently discovered, I just want to fix everything.
Yeah. Right.
So when Jeannie's like, this is happening in my life, I'm like, how can I fix it? And she's like, just listen to me.
Right. Yeah.
You can't fix it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what
I'm trying her to be, just an ear and not a handyman.
Right, which is important because that really is just what people need a lot of the time. A lot of times just by listening, you are fixing it because what they need is just to get that out of them. Yeah. And it's like, well, it'll resolve itself eventually, but I just need to get all of this out of my head right now. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this because, Tony and I got into a fight this past weekend.
Like Kumite type fight?
Yeah, like I totally put him on the ground, started slapping his face. Shut up! Why you hitting yourself? Like that kind of fight.
Anyone else aroused?
An intense boobing. What is it?
Yeah, intense boobing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Half-Bod.
Yeah.
And what I said to him, he made the comment that he doesn't have anyone but me to talk to. And I'm like, that's a lie. You have Brian, you have T, you have people, you don't make the effort.
I'd really appreciate it if you don't volunteer me for stuff. No.
I also determined I'm a terrible communicator sometimes.
Nah.
I just reminded him that you're friends. That's what.
True.
Yeah. Make sure you remind me once in a while, because I just,
That we're friends? Like you
No, that I'm his friend. Yeah.
Oh, believe me, I remind myself that I'm married to him and I love him daily.
Yeah, right. That's right.
That can't be easy. Yeah. I mean, hey,
as soon
Tony.
as the morning light goes across my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on a totally different subject here. It has nothing to do with being friends with someone with mental illness, but the number of times that people are like, oh, you're so lucky you found your husband when you were young. I just want to punch them in the face. Like, honestly, relationships are such hard work. There's no luck in that.
This is true.
I was like, no, we work on this daily. Yeah. Like, daily we work on our relationships.
Always sharpening the sword.
Right.
Sorry. There's another F-bomb.
Jesus, Jeannie.
Apparently,
episode ever.
She's no longer the first lady of space violence. She's the first lady of space vulgarity.
I tried. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Too hot for the internet.
I know, right? We're going to have to release this as a Patreon episode or something.
Yeah. So anything that you want in life, anything that's worth having in your life, you work at. Regardless of what it is. If it's your depression and how to cope with it. If it's a husband who annoys you, you work at it.
Smooth.
Yeah, really, right?
Slid that right in, yeah.
Jeez.
If it's painting, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Or a crap you're into.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Watching leaves float downstream or whatever. Yeah.
Writing poetry about them.
That's what Tony's doing, yeah. I can't wait.
Not.
I can't wait to see his spoken word tour. You know, that'll be great.
What's great is they're all haiku.
Yes, I've already said it's my coffee table book of haikus.
Haku, the wrestler?
Once again, I wish I had a soundboard. Haku!
No, that's Aku.
I know, that's what I said.
I know. I just had to just had to get a wrestling reference in there. That's all.
That's true.
You know, that's how I do.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, Jeannie, as you know, with someone who does your job, what is one thing you would suggest to people that maybe they don't do enough that they should?
Follow through. And you know, you're talking about a toolbox of things to do when you're in crisis.
Mm.
You really have to do it daily.
That's true. Buying a hammer doesn't put a nail on the wall. That's true. Well, I got the hammer.
Yeah. If you're in crisis and you haven't been working on these tools, how are you going to know how to use them?
Yeah.
Right.
That you have to follow through daily. You don't, and people, I mean, and it's not, and I know you talk about not making the phone calls to the doctors and struggling with that. That's a great follow through, but it's like, okay, here's my coping skills. This is what's worked for me and I need to do them daily. So I know they become breathing.
Yeah.
You said that with yours, with your breathing exercises and staying grounded in the moment. Mm. If you don't do that, when your anxiety is spiked, there's no way to get that. Right. There's no way to go, this is what I need to do. So follow through is the best.
That makes a ton of sense. Yeah. Because you create that essentially like muscle memory concept like that. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense.
Does it?
Too.
I'm working on it.
What Tony doesn't know, folks, is this is actually an intervention. Tony, you're a jerk. I mean, sorry, Tony, I love you, but you're a jerk.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot not to lead with the insult. Yeah.
We need to talk. We gotta talk off mic, off show. We gotta go get some beers and some pizza and some hummus.
Collusion.
This is probably the weirdest thing for Tony is the fact that you and I are friends.
Not really.
Yeah. Okay, it's the weirdest thing for me because I'm like, hey, Brian and I are going to go out and have some beers and we're going to drink and we're going to have some time just him and I. And Tony's like, I'm coming.
All right. At once.
Be like, no, you're staying home and journaling. Yeah.
You're staying home and journaling.
Yeah. Deal.
I just picture, dear journal, my friends are jerks.
All journaling and no play makes Tony a dull boy.
Oh my God.
You know, I want to say it like I've been poking fun at Tony for the journaling and stuff. But first of all, you know, for those who don't know, I guess I probably should have preferenced this in case you don't listen to Salty Language. Tony and I have been best friends for like 30 years. So we just bust each other's balls like this. So he knows I'm not actually like, assaulting him for doing, journaling, because I actually think it's a really good tool for people to use. So, or maybe he didn't know that. So,
yeah, I'm just drying my eyes for no reason, Brian.
Yeah, allergies, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Allergies.
The allergies he's never complained about.
And doesn't have.
Yeah.
I'm just allergic to the feels.
Oh, that might be true. It's too much feelings.
But that's
what is this water for my eyes?
Too much feeling.
But that's on another special episode where we delve into Tony's feelings.
More than a feeling.
Once again, need the soundboard up.
I know, right?
It'd just be cricket noises.
Yeah. That's a good answer right there. Yeah. Tony, how does that make you feel? Huh?
What?
Are we talking still?
Yeah, I like pizza.
Yeah, pizza's terrific, guys.
I can't eat it because of the gluten.
You guys remember Pizza Bob's?
You do zucchini pizzas now.
They're delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same, though.
It's not the same, though. It's not going to be... Never mind. I'm going to get into the video. We talked enough about it already yesterday.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to hear more about us talking about Pizza Bob's, listen to the new episode of Salty Language. So, yeah. All right, well.
I forgot that I sent you a Twitter message when I gave Tony my answer. The Twitter message was much better.
Yeah.
Q of the W.
Yeah. That's all right. We didn't have very many, so it was,
You got me twice.
Yeah.
I know, right? Perfect.
Like, whew. We need something to fill the space here, so. Oh, good. Jeannie has another comment, because otherwise it's like, well, we didn't post it anywhere, so we have like one response. No, what are you going to do, right?
That's all right.
It is what it is.
Yep. So, all right. Well, we're getting close to an hour here, so I think I'm going to, probably wrap this up and, whatever. So do you guys have anything you want to any last words, Tony?
Final thoughts, like Jerry Springer?
No, I mean last words, because Jeannie's probably going to end you when this is over. No.
Well, it's been good, guys.
Let me get a chair since it's final thoughts. I'll just hit you in the head with the chair when you're done.
Final thoughts, the sensual moments of Jerry Springer.
The only thing I remember about Jerry Springer is the fact that people got hit in the head with chairs.
Yeah, that did happen.
That's wrestling.
It was also Jerry Springer, Tony. Remember all the Too Hot for TV videos? It was pretty much breastises or chairs. Yeah.
The baby's father.
No, I guess final thoughts would be sometimes just listening is enough. Write some shit down occasionally.
Oh my God.
What?
That just sounds very random, first of all, but.
And you just can't fix everything in around you.
Yeah.
Be patient with people, too.
Yeah.
Pizza's delicious.
These are all good thoughts.
Final thoughts.
The not trying to fix people thing is a really tough thing for a lot of people to get past, myself included. Even though I'm like in my head, I'm like, I wish people would quit trying to fix me. I'm working on it, but at the same time, someone else has something happen to them, and the first thing I want to do is, how can I make this better? Can I make them laugh? Can I, and
yep. This sounds so familiar.
Yeah,
Brian.
I wonder why.
Because you guys cope with stress the same way?
By making
Cracking
people
jokes.
laugh. Yeah. It is true.
Humor.
That really
Look
is.
Look at me, I'm a clown. Waka waka.
Well, it's funny though, because of how many times I've done that and had somebody say, that really, that made me feel so much better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony's flipping the dog off.
She keeps kicking the goddamn door like she's a SWAT team.
Yeah.
Well, she might be. So, all right. So, Jeannie, how about you? Any closing arguments?
I had a great line, and I cannot remember it now since Tony's flipping the bird over here.
That's because Tony ruins the show. He ruins all the things, apparently.
Ruin everything!
Oh, yeah.
No.
That's my last final thought. Destroy everything.
Right.
Stop being a raccoon.
Working on it.
No, I think you just want to keep in mind to treat people as you would want to be treated. So, just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the golden rule. I know it's silly, but it's a reason that's like that. So don't treat people like they're children. They can make up their own minds, and just be there and support them.
Nothing about Pizza Bob's?
I don't know what a pizza bob is.
She will.
We talked about pizza bobs, and I was like, it's like the little bagel, right? Like a bagel bite. And he about threw a fit and started talking about Texas toast, and I was like, whoa.
Sorry, I'm just picturing you going, that's like the bagel bite thing, and I just picture Tony throwing his hands up in the air. I'm going to journal.
It's like you were there, right?
Yeah. Dear Journal, she doesn't even know what a pizza bob is.
How did I marry this woman?
I feel like the dear
Where's the camera, Brian?
I'm not telling. No, I feel like the Dear Journal thing is going to be a salty language bit, Tony.
Might be.
Yeah, each week we have to have a Dear Journal entry. Man.
What do you need from us, Brian? You are, the friend that everyone knows we have.
Yeah.
What do you need from us?
Nothing at this point, because you guys have done a really great job of learning and understanding over the time, and adapting. And I know in ways too, we talked on here about when the rules change, you have to, tell other people so that they know the rules have changed. And I've tried to get better about that too, and I've also gotten to where, I've openly admitted on here that I used to make up things to get out of things when it was really my depression or my anxiety. Now I don't. I just tell you guys. I'm like, I'm having a really bad depression day, or my anxiety's through the roof, or I'm crying because I have a migraine or whatever, And
I laugh because I've been there once, and that's enough.
Yeah, it is. And, so, and it's not just with you guys. I've tried to just quit that, because especially when I realized that was becoming the norm, I didn't even realize that I was doing that, setting up a couple days ahead of basically to set myself up with an excuse, those kind of things. So, with you guys being understanding and all that, and the fact that not just being understanding, but also that, as we said, you keep calling or texting or, if I tell you I can't do something this week, next week you'll still be like, hey, do you want to do this or whatever, and that means a lot, because there are a lot of people that won't do that. They will stop, so that's really all I can ask, like I said earlier, I realize at this point, how strong of a support team I have. So.
Well, it does help that you are amazing to hang out with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You got that going for you.
Yeah. I am the Macho King. What can you do? So.
No soundboard.
No. We always have fun when we hang out with you, which is why we always keep calling you.
Right. That's what I always figured, That's why you have to, you have to be funny, folks. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, we have several times that we go out where there is not very much laughter. It's just a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true too. And it is. That's a key part of it, though, is the ability to kind of read the room. When you need to laugh, sometimes it's, because I know Tony and I have done that plenty of times for each other, where we kind of read the room, and it's like this is heavy. One of us needs to make a joke here, because again, then we can kind of, even if we're being serious, we can still joke through stuff, and it just kind of helps the conversation move along sometimes.
You have that silent glance. It's like, please tell me you have some gas issues going on right now. We need a fart.
Okay.
We never pulled that move.
No.
We're more about the witty one-liners.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
it was funny.
You did go a whole show with tummy issues for the laugh. So, I don't think that was for the laugh.
Maybe for other people.
Yeah, it certainly was.
No more tummy issues. You don't eat food that gives you them.
No, actually, it's been a long time.
Nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
See, we'll have to do a reunion episode. With Jen, because we all went high school together.
I thought you meant with me, Jen, and Heno. Take that, used to.
Burn, bro.
Boom. Mic drop.
No. I was thinking of all the high school kids that were together in high school.
Oh, right. Heno can pretend.
He's a little older than us.
I went to high school too, guys. It was a single building with a steeple. in one room.
He basically just starts describing something from Little House on the Prairie. Yeah,
Exactly.
We had these slates that we got to write on in chalk.
that was pretty awesome, man. Like, we had iPads before iPads.
Those are abacus. Abacus-I?
Oh, just stop it.
Yeah, anyway.
What's the plural of abacus?
Or you guys can do you and Tony and Neil and Heno.
Oh, we've discussed that already.
Oh,
Yeah.
We need to make that happen.
Keep it on the DL.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Still
I was like,
Jeez.
because you all have issues, and you can sit down and talk together about how you can be friends with people with issues.
I know. How could we all be so stunningly handsome?
It's true. It's a curse. It is a curse. Oh, man. All right. Well,
and 2 of you have really great hair, and 2 of you have really great beards.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Oddly enough, same too.
Crazy.
Wait.
Crazy. Have you seen how swarthy my chest is?
Ew.
Swarthy. Yeah, that describes him pretty well.
You're gonna wake up with Nair on your chest now.
I doubt that. I think you enjoy my furriness.
Just put it on his legs or his arms.
Ooh.
But make sure you do it in cool patterns or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like tiger stripes.
I'm just gonna put, I'm a dick.
Accurate.
Oh. All right, well.
We heard nothing.
I think I'm gonna, like I said, wrap it up here, and then, whatever. So, as Jen usually says...
Have
What?
you got your t-shirts yet?
No, we haven't. I actually have to contact them about that, so...
Okay.
Because making me sad.
I want to see it. I want to see a t-shirt, and I want to buy Heno's song.
Yes. I know. Heno's been working on it, I think. From last episode, he talked about it a little bit, so... Soon!
Excellent!
Most excellent.
So if people want to contact you guys, how can they do that?
Go ahead, honey.
Telepathically.
Ooh, neat.
That is interesting.
Yeah. That's a different one.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. It's TJLHIGH or Lady Space Violence. Yeah. That's where you can reach me. I don't have a podcast, so you have to wait for me to appear on another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yep.
Like this Thursday on The Enthusiast.
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Language.
Yeah, shameless plugs.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a hold of me, I am at Monotony on Twitter or at The Monotony on Instagram if you want to go that route. And,
Sorry.
of course, every Monday you can hear the soothing sounds of salty language.
Wow.
Yep.
It's soothing. People go to bed with it.
It's true.
It's true. They put us under their pillow.
You're talking about me.
I know.
I fall asleep listening to podcasts. It bugs him.
Yes. Especially when it's ours.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed that on the other show. But...
I got my own voice in my head. Now I have another one.
I don't know.
It just becomes a game to see if I can get you to have sex with me while your podcast is on, because I know it freaks you out.
Take that, Hobie.
Well, it should freak you out because my voice is also on that podcast. Now every episode I'm going to have to be like, hey, Tony, nice moves.
Finally, the mood is set.
How are you doing? How's your rhythm?
Yeah. Slow down, champ. Slow down.
Oh, Brian, and you need to send that to me. I'm just gonna randomly you set a timer. Go off in 5 minutes.
Tony's in the corner rocking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again.
Can't go to sleep. Clowns will eat me.
Right. It's like,
this is the kind of relationship we work on daily.
Yeah, this is true.
Where's my journal? Dear journal. Yeah.
Sexy time. Thwarted again.
I'm starting to hate Brian's voice. Even though normally I'm aroused by it.
All right. So sorry about
I love
that.
how all the journal entries are like Zap Brannigan's reading them.
Yeah, I know.
Drama.
Oh, I do know who it is.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the name correctly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do know who that is. Thank you for the eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
You are going to have to be court-martialed.
Kiff, get my pants.
Exactly. Your sentence, one evening of love.
You should show her the Snoo Snoo episode. Tony Zapp is great in that episode.
He has shown that too.
Oh, okay.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, if you want to contact the rest of us, you can check out our website at thecrazylifepodcast.weebly.com. Our email is thecrazylifepodcast@outlook.com. The show Twitter account is thecrazylifepod. Jen's Twitter is @Jen'sCrazyLife. So send her a message and tell her that, she should actually be on the show.
And that's Jen with a G.
That's Jen with a G, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Heno's Twitter.
Heno's is Ida Heno.
Yep. So also send him a message and say, hey,
how dare you have a life?
Exactly.
Yes.
Just tell him how much he's let you down.
Oh, now that's all I want to do.
I kid. You can find me on Twitter @Stunami. You can find the podcast that Tony and I essentially appear on each week at saltylanguage.com or on Twitter @salty_language.
Go to sleep to them every night.
Very not safe for work or your bedroom. Or while operating heavy machinery.
Why? Because you're going to put them to sleep?
No, just too aroused.
They're just trying to get naked in the car, causing accidents. It's just not good. Our lawyers have told us to warn people. Yeah.
When you're driving a bulldozer, you can only be so erect.
What if you're not a male?
Same.
You can only be so wet.
Yeah.
You might cause an electrical short. I got you.
Exactly.
Either way.
Slip right off the seat.
I'm sorry, Brian.
That would be embarrassing.
This has gone so sideways.
Oh, man. Whew. The Facebook group for the show is facebook.com/group/crazylifepodcast. And we've got a decent amount of references on there. Like for NAMI.org and various other organizations and stuff that help people that may be having a crisis, or you just need help finding a therapist, or you just need someone to talk to or whatever. There's a bunch of things on there. So check that out. And also we're part of the Tangent Bound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. And the intro music was done by Heno. Even though he's not here, he's kind of part of the show still. Although I should take him out this week. Just put for the intro music, just put no music because Heno's not here. If you listen to us on iTunes, please leave us a review and make sure you're subscribed. And however else if you listen to us in other like Stitcher or other apps, please use the like and share so that we can get found in searches easier or whatever. And also share the show with friends if you have any. No, I kid. Mm-hmm. And then also,
you forgot your disclaimer.
Oh, I'm getting there. I have a lot to go through at the end of the show, so yeah. It's, we're not. Well, Jeannie's what's your professional title again? Because I don't want to say we're not this, and this, and have you go. Well, yes, I am.
Well, my professional title is a QHHS.
Yeah.
Just throwing letters out there doesn't, make you anything. I mean, all it makes you is an ASS. I mean,
I'm not licensed yet.
Oh,
I have to take the test. So you're fine.
All right. So
yeah, because I don't want to spend $300 on a stupid test.
Yeah. Who does?
I know. It would give me a huge pay raise.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, such a terrible idea.
That's right out. Yeah.
What a terrible investment.
So yeah, we're not doctors, therapists, or trained professionals. Well, Jeannie's kind of trained, but I don't know.
I'm not licensed.
She's not licensed.
Professional. Have you heard that mouth?
She's a professional podcast guest.
Oh yeah. Right.
But anyway, if you need help, please seek out help. Go talk to your doctor. As I've said before, go get the estimate, at least go find out, what's going on. Don't self-diagnose, go talk to a professional and, then you can go from there. And then of course, if you're feeling suicidal, please don't do that. Please contact somebody in your support system or reach out to, a crisis hotline of some sort or whatever. And, whatever. And again, don't necessarily wait until you're well into it either. If you find yourself thinking about it, like planning it, or planning a suicide note even, make sure you mention it to, if you're in therapy, mention it to your therapist or doctor, or mention it to your friends so that they can keep checking in on you or whatever. But please don't.
That goes if you're having homicidal thoughts too.
Oh yeah, very true.
Yeah. It's a thing you have to check is, are you suicidal? Are you homicidal? Yeah. Is it an ideation? Is it a plan? Do you have so if you're thinking about killing someone, you should go get help too.
Yes, very much so. So I guess.
What if you're thinking about killing the game?
Is the game a person?
Actually. Yeah. Triple H or the rapper. I was like, there's a rapper and there's Triple H, so, another wrestling reference.
Then go get help.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's as easy as going to an ER and telling them,
yes,
I'm having suicidal thoughts. I'm having homicidal thoughts, and they will address it immediately.
Yep. So, yeah. So definitely don't put that off. Don't, there's a lot of stuff out there about how people with depression and such feel like they don't want to exist or don't want to be here or whatever, but there's a difference between that and being suicidal. But again, go talk to somebody either way, especially if it's the first time you're really experiencing it. Go talk to someone, make sure that, you don't put yourself in a bad way. So, and then, reach out to people, call somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Tell your friends how much you appreciate them. Have them on your podcast when your other bum friends won't show up.
Oh my goodness. Brian, anytime you need us, we'll be on, but after belly dancing.
Yeah. Right.
Belly dancing comes first.
Well, and journaling. Come on. I don't want to, let's not minimize Tony's time,
I know, right? Jeez.
And,
You're not important. I love you.
I'm ready to scratch my back. It's like, oh, perfect.
Oh boy. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed, this episode. And, if not, well, then, again, Jen can be found on Twitter at Jen's Crazy Life with G. And
I'm sorry, and we promise not to come back.
And Heno can be found at Ida Heno. So send all complaints to those two.
Oh, and find us. Come be our friends. Tell us that we're wacky and crazy and yeah.
Sure, if you want to do that, that's fine too.
Or just horrible people.
Or horrible. Yeah, that's okay too.
Tell me I got a potty mouth. Right. I already know.
Yeah, that's fair. But in all fairness, just again, so everyone understands, I'm just teasing Jen and Heno, of course,
Yes.
Things happen in life and, luckily we have other people that can fill in for them and, maybe take their spots, but, whatever.
They have their priorities straight. They're taking care of their business.
Right.
We just, made sure we can get a something out.
It's something, all right. Yeah. Going back to the old salty language.
Yeah. It's definitely content.
Yeah. It's so like the Metallica album, some kind of monster. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Well, on that.
Yeah, wiggle your toes. Jen always ends that way.
I know.